Now we'll sell the stuff. Now that we've taken the chance to see what that was all about. Okay, so back to selling with you.
What do you got there?
Maybe even breaking some stuff down. We'll see. So we're definitely looking to... I mean, that... I guess the chestplate, we could have seen what it looks like, but this doesn't look all that interesting. Let's just sell that stuff. And then... the other reason why we're still kind of high on weight is that we did opt to hold on to our feline gear rather than stash it. So if we could get to a stash, that'd be kind of nice, just so that we're only carrying around the set of armor that we're currently using. And we could break down... Oh no, it's not a silver teapot, so it's not as good. Okay, in that case, maybe less significant. Will you even buy random alchemy stuff? You will buy random crafting stuff. And we have... It's been a while since we've done that. We almost certainly have, yeah, you know, like 106 pearls. Or pieces of stuffs from enemies that we fight a lot, like Indrigas. Like the Indriga armor plates are actually things that can be useful for crafting some gear, so I'm a little bit reluctant to sell those specifically. There are some things like, you know, do we need 100 string? Is this probably worth next to nothing, though? We have multiple stacks of it, which we do. Then that's probably pretty safe. For oil, which is also worth next to nothing. I'll sell a little bit of it. Not all these things, but just some of them. Mostly just because this guy has enough money. It's like the leather I know we do need to craft a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to sell nearly as much of that. It's not worth very much either, although we do have 2 stacks of it, at least. What else do we have a ton of? Iron ore. Maybe we sell this whole stack and keep our stack of 100. I mean, he's an armorer. He needs supplies, right? We're just hooking him up. Oh, we have, hold on. We have 100 leather straps here, 70 there, and 47 here. Okay, so we had like, you know, 250 previously. Yeah, let's sell all this. Or at least all this. Again, it's not worth that much, so not a huge deal. Okay. That's at least something. And yeah, what level was this guy? Or I don't know, see if we can dismantle anything, but you're a master. Wow. Wow. This guy's legit. Here I was saying I was doubtful. And yet, he's like, nah, Geralt, I'm the dude. There is an associated quest for the stash. I think I can guess where it is. There's definitely a quest that feels like, you know, it could lead to us having a bit of a home base, so to speak. But, alright. We've been doing a lot of Gwents, but I suppose we'll play you as well. And if we are to do that, then let's go all in. Actually, that's a little bit less than the other ones we were seeing. They were going up to... Were they going up to 100? No, I guess they were going up to 50, and then if we win, we get 100 back. I think that's the same amount, I guess. And I think we stick with Skellige here. We were saying that maybe we try getting rid of some of our more typical cards. Maybe we get rid of Triss. 7 strength here is not that impressive. That just makes it a little bit more likely to get some of our more interesting cards. Let's try this then. And they're Northern Realms, so they will have medics. So that does mean that our leader ability could be relevant in that case. We do have Marjoram. Do we have... Oh, man. Yeah, I was going to say, potentially multiple of the musters. We definitely want to get rid of Gauntlet Dim Darkness. We do have at least one of our Berserkers. We have this pair of Type Bond. We don't have a pair to go along with the Longship, though. That means we're probably dumping you. I think so. And we got... Okay. Mysterious Elf. Very good spy. I like that. Maybe we lead off with you and see what we get in return. Help us plan for future rounds. And we got... Whoa! Okay. We now have 3 of the Type Bond units here. And they're potentially going to load up on the Siege Row. Which leader ability is this that you have right now? This is the Clear All Weather effects. Okay, well, we don't have any right now, so joke's on you. That's going to be pretty useless. So... Huh. And you have a 1 strength unit out there, so we are pretty vulnerable if we do end up playing anything other than a hero here. We do have some medics, but maybe we deliberately start off with Hjalmar for that reason. Does mean that's our second, or well, one of our 2 heroes, and Yennefer is a little more situational because she's also a medic, so then again, to play Yennefer as our first card in round 2 should be fine. A little surprised Hjalmar's in the range row, to tell you the truth. Would have thought he'd probably be in the melee row, but okay, that's a good spy for them. We would have loved if we had a decoy to steal taller with. Unfortunately, we do not. Also means that once again, we're in a bit of a tricky place here in terms of what we play now. Maybe we even go Marjoram and next turn play our Berserker. Because I think, at least for now, this should be safe. I don't know if there's any way to remove this. Like, can our opponent get rid of this card in any way? It's not a unit, so it can't be Scorched, I don't think. Ah, it basically counts as a weather effect. Okay, so they might actually be able to remove that with their leader ability. Not sure, or no, maybe it's more like a... This is more of a Commander's Horn in that case. Which you don't remove with the weather removing effects, so maybe we're safe then? Now, you have a 10 strength unit out there, but it is a hero. So that doesn't really change our equation too much here. Anything that we play immediately becomes a Scorched target. We do have 2 medics in our hand, so it's not the end of the world, but it is in some ways a bit of a wasted medic still. So maybe... Rather not split our Type Bond units here. Obviously, Dragon is a waste right now. Yen's a waste right now. Other medics a waste right now. Let's try the Berserk unit. Alright, so how powerful is the Berserker when he transforms into the bear? Answer is 14. Wow. That's pretty huge. They have more melee heroes, and it also gives +1 to all units in the row, excluding itself. That is, yeah, transformed Vildkarl. Interesting. It's not just a bear. It's more complicated than that. Okay, so, I mean, we could go really aggressive if we wanted to. If we went with all of our Type Bonds and Dandelion, we could get a humongous melee row. Not necessarily sure we want to do that, but I mean, we could get a really big bear here, and then bring it back if it gets Scorched. Yeah, it might still be worth doing. Alright, let's try it. It's a 28-point unit already, and they pass. Okay, so that means we can save our cool combo here. And then our medic, I think, we'll probably end up using on Dandelion and maybe even Taller as well for a second one. Okay, okay, I like that. Okay, now this is an interesting one. We played one more card than our opponent. So we're on 7, they're on 8. But they're Northern Realms. So this is not just a simple, okay, well, play nothing here, immediately pass, they have to play a card, and that way they lose a card going into round 3, so you're on an even 7 cards apiece for round 3. Because they're Northern Realms, whenever they win a round, they draw a card. So sure, they'll play one, momentarily go down to 7, but as soon as they win, they'll draw another and go up to 8 again. So that means that it may actually be best for us to try to go for the rare 2-0 victory, so to speak. Win round 1 and also win round 2. So in that case, if we are to go that route, I think what we do is we go with Yen as a hero medic, use her to play taller, because that is a spy, so he'll go on the opposing side. Actually, oh, I did not realize that the transformed build Carl would remain a transformed build Carl in our graveyard. I thought it would go back to being the Berserker, that it was only temporary, that it was the build Carl because it was currently in the row with the Mardrome. But I guess that was a permanent transformation, in which case this actually becomes a very interesting card to bring back. I was thinking it was going to be taller plus Dandelion, and then Dandelion would be nice to have to double our sweet triple type bond, but it might be better. And technically, let's see what it's 6 strength apiece type bond, so it'd be 6. Then you play a second one, they're both 12. Play the third one, and they're all 24. And if you double that, they all become 48, which is definitely still better than the Vild Carl. It is much more susceptible to a Scorch, because all of them would get removed simultaneously, whereas if you go with the Vild Carl, then only that would get, or actually, depending on the timing, either the Vild Carl, if it's early Scorch, would get removed, or if it's later in the round, then it would be the triple type bond. It's a little safer to go this route, but the upside, the ceiling in terms of point potential is a little bit lower. I think we probably do still lead off with taller, just to get more cards on our side and see what that gives us. Alright, well, yeah, then we got punished by the usual play the spy before the muster, which I'm sure you are now going to get very mad at me for doing. Now you have catapults. Oh yeah, and that's true. Skellige does have that ability that gives them 2 cards back from their graveyard in round 2, which would, at this point, be Dandelion and the Vild Carl, would it not? So I assume it can't be a hero. So, I mean, we do that, and we have the additional advantage of having stolen one of their spies. Makes it a little bit better than having just passed at the very beginning. That might actually be the play here, then, is passing now and relying on our faction ability to take effect going into round 3. Yeah, I think that is actually preferable here. Let's give that a shot. So they don't need to play anything here. They'll just win round 2, but they draw an additional card after winning against Northern Realms. So that means we are, in fact, on even cards here, when we were just saying if we had not done anything, then we would have been at a 1-card disadvantage. But there is our ability kicking in, and that is a double bear right there. Now I was thinking that if we were quick, could have used our leader ability to shut off graveyards, because we did play... We've done all of our medics? Not quite. Not quite. If we play 1 here, well, we don't have anything to bring back with it yet, which is unfortunate. So our leader ability may go largely unused here. We'll have to see. Let's see. Their highest unit is a 5. I mean, this is just begging to be removed. If they have any form of removal, then that's gonna go bye-bye. But then that's when we'll bring out the all the on-crate warriors. So at least for now, let's maybe go... Let's deliberately try to keep this as the highest unit, and then if it does get scorched, we'll be saving Burn of Bran to bring him back. Just kind of fitting that Burn of Bran is the one bringing back the the bear. Some lore implications there, perhaps. But yeah, so there is the muster playing one of those units from our hand, which is unfortunate, but I mean, we got it to begin with from a spy, so it's kind of a bonus unit anyway. And we would really like for our opponent to start playing some units in the melee row so that we could take advantage of this dragon. Otherwise, we're probably going Siri here. Okay, Ballista. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're gonna start playing some of the on-crate warriors. They're gonna get pretty huge as well. And we're actually kind of looking for them to scorch, because yeah, we could have played one more card in round 2, that is right, and then we would have had a clear target for Berna as well. But let's see, if we play another view... Are you actually... Oh, hold on. If we play another view, then will all of these guys become 28s? The on-crate Warcry, or the on-crate Warrior, both of them, as well as the transformed Build Carl, meaning that if they do have a Scorch, then suddenly they are removing 3 28-point cards. That's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. What if... Okay, so we don't have anything at the moment to bring back from our graveyard. Theirs is pretty minor. But what if we deliberately use our leader ability now? It does very little, but it doesn't prevent us from medicing anything. So I think it's fine. It's largely just a way of avoiding having the crazy triple nerf potential in the melee row for one more turn, although unfortunately that is still the situation we find ourselves in right now. So yikes. I think we almost have to go with the bad dragon play here, because although it doesn't scorch anything in the melee row, at least we aren't setting ourselves up for a ridiculously strong scorch. Although, hold on, this will stay 14 even once we play our on-crate warrior on our next turn. This is not going to become even more, or actually 16. It's not going to become even more of a scorch target after that. Okay, now of course you start playing melee units, but that just doesn't give us enough time to make that work. So, I mean, we don't have a medic, or we don't have anything to bring back with the medic, I should say. So, do we deliberately, again, go with the suboptimal play in order to stall with our play that makes us very vulnerable? Or do we go for it now and then just hope they don't play a Scorch, and then on our next turn get our other warrior down, and then at least we'll keep the Build Carl if they do have a Scorch, but we'll lose all of our warriors? Let's try. Well, they're actually... Okay, well, I did my math wrong. They're 26s. It's not as bad. Okay, yeah, it does go up to 10 here, so if we had sequenced this a little bit better, then of course we could have used the dragon to remove both of them, which would have been a nice opportunity. But that's, like I said, something that we were trying to dance around having ourselves being really vulnerable in the melee row, because I thought it was going to be 28, 28, 28, and then would have been a ginormous Scorch. It will still be a ginormous Scorch here. Removing 38 strength, 3 times 38 strength. Okay, and so yeah, no, nothing for Burner Brand to do on this occasion, unfortunately. We'll play her, although it's just going to give us... Oh, she's actually melee row, so she will actually be a decent amount of points by herself. We have 188. Can they remove stuff? We have one more card remaining, and their leader ability. Leader ability will remove the range nerf that I think they put down themselves, and then their last card is also Clear Weather. So we are up to 197, which I think is not quite the highest point total we've ever gotten, but it is very close. It's a high risk, but we did not get punished for it. It worked out. We got Camby. Let's check that out. What is that? It's this. Oh. When this card is removed from the battlefield, it summons a powerful new unit card to take its place. It has the same indicator as the cow. Is it actually a bovine defense force? Or is it something that has the same strength but a different name? Is it something entirely different? Who knows? But it sounds like, based on the power of the cow, probably worth throwing this down here as well, including it in the deck. We were saying maybe having the siege doubler as well, although we have not very many siege cards in the Skellige deck. It might only be these longships. I think it is. At least at the moment, that maybe is not... Oh, and a single Gauntero Dim, which is 2 strength. I don't think it's worth including you right now. Similar to the cow? Okay. Yeah, at least in theory, based on the description we have there, it looks like it would be. And the indicator as well, of course. Okay, so that was the armorer. But in theory, we may also have a weaponsmith here. Yeah, here's the blacksmith.
I could go. So
Let's see what this person's deal is now. If they also can play us at Gwent, I might deliberately not play them at Gwent, because we like face 3 or 4 people in a row here. And we are getting our Skellige deck bigger, yes, and better, which is nice. So we will definitely do it eventually. It's just, I am wary of doing Gwent after Gwent after Gwent after Gwent. I think it's probably best for us to mix and match a little bit here and there.
The best steel in all of Tucson. Take again.
Okay. Let's see what you have. We didn't really look at what the other guy was offering. Might have had some decent options for us, but in terms of swords for this dude... If we're looking at the level, you do go as high as 41, which is pretty nice. Do you have any diagrams that we don't have right now? Because that could be interesting. Doesn't look like it. And then the usual crafting materials. What is... Malachite? I think that might be new. Azurite as well. Oh, man. That's a Path of Exile resource there. Unrefined copper ore is also new. Same with nickel and hunk of nickel. Okay, so we might need to have some of those for future items that we try to craft. What is this? Acid extract, used to craft gear and items. If you say so. Okay. Alright, I suppose. And you are also a master. Yeah. So it seems like this is probably going to be the place to go later on.
Farewell.
I mean, are they, like, the super grandmaster people? Possibly not. But I think that's a question for another day. Where is the... There's the staircase. Okay. So, now... Just double check. Our inventory, I mean, we have some spare space. Not a ton, but it's not like we're urgently trying to give ourselves more inventory space at this stage, so doing okay. And in that case, why don't we go over to the notice board, which is back in this direction. Then we'll say hello to, well, I was going to say Yen, but no, Yen's quest is a little bit different, I think, because this is not going to be Yen, this is going to be a cemetery. So, yeah, probably a little bit of a different vibe. But let's just check this notice board to see what else we can learn about here. Do monsters have mamas and papas? Oh man, deep questions from the children of Beauclair. Interesting moves here. This guy with his little hop. And the kid as well. Just kind of shaking around. I feel like this could be another place where we would find those random quests popping up from peoples, but not seeing any exclamation points at the moment. You look unwell. What happened to the lower half of your body? It is through the stage right now. You should get that scene.
Nice.
So, oh? Okay, is there a reason why Geralt said that?
Sing the marvelous tune, yet inside your head will remain an achingly quiet and empty crew.
I don't think so. At least not at the moment. So let's check this out. Here you are. Okay. Beware the beast. In light of the recent string of murders, the Ducal Guard advises duchy residents and travelers to be on their guard. Do not leave home after sunset, stick to well-frequented roads, and avoid out-of-the-way areas. Roaming the city alone is not advised. As long as the beast prowls the streets, no one is safe. At the same time, Her Illustrious Highness, Duchess Anna Henrietta, would like to make it known that she is doing everything in her power to ensure this state of emergency ends as soon as possible. Efforts have been undertaken to make the city safe again. Captain Damien de la Tour. Also, don't do anything with that Witcher. Don't trust him. He's clearly not the solution to our problem. We hate him. Fisticuffs. Hey, tough guy. Smack down your brother-in-law and now you're feeling invincible? Neighbors step aside when they see you coming. Got violence in your heart? Then perhaps it's high time you fought for the title of Brawl Master of Beauclair. That does have a bit of a ring to it. Defeat 3 champions, and you'll get the honor of facing the Maestro himself. Seek more information from bookies in San Sebastian and by the docks. Okay, so it does look like this will likely be the same type of fist fighting, I don't know if you technically want to call it tournament, but fist fighting series that we had in many of the other locations, Skellige and Novigrad, Helen. I think perhaps all those places. You know what I mean. Armed escort wanted. We wish to hire a person or persons with good weapon skills who, for a reasonable fee, will escort us into Albertus Cavern for exploratory purposes. The knights errant claim the cave harbors no dangers, so we don't expect trouble. That's definitely not the case. But better safe than sorry. Augusta, Lucian, and Hugo Monarch. Not sure if this actually going to be something we can do. It might be. Contract. Grandmaster Armor. Okay. That's perhaps what we were alluding to before. A quest related to the actual Grandmaster. Not just Master, Grandmaster. When it comes to armor and maybe weapons slightly different. Master Armor in Beauclair seeks brave men to help recover long-lost diagrams. Contract is highly dangerous, as such will be lucratively rewarded. Or maybe those people that we were just talking to, they can craft the Super Master Crafted Witcher stuff gear, but we actually still need separate diagrams for that, because, yeah, I don't think we have anything that fits that description just yet. Wanted. Discreet Specialist. Oh, we have the Super Secret Agent glasses and the Super Secret Agent outfit. We are absolutely discreet. Wanted. Professional to investigate mystery concerning Reginald d'Aubry's statue. Requirements. Indomitable work ethic, absolute discretion and refinement in supernatural situations. Desirable. Immaculate presentation, aesthetic sensitivity, and knowledge of modern sculpture. For details, please see Roland D. Flockpfizer, Curator of Art and Collectibles. Then contract quarreling at the cemetery. Since no one from our residence committee seems to think it is their responsibility, I'll write it myself. This cannot go on. That infernal racket coming from the cemetery is driving us mad, and no one is doing anything about it. I know we all hear it. Madame Bouquet admitted it keeps her awake all night long, and she lives further away from the cemetery than any of us. If there's any Witcher who can put an end to all the screaming, brawling, and insults, I'll pay him for my own pouch. Ask them to point out Charles Lozano and the clever clogs. That'll be me. Tony Lozano! Okay. That gives us some undiscovered locations as well, is usually what happens whenever we go to a notice board. We get a bunch of question marks. And we should get a bunch of quests from those notices as well. And we'll see how many of those notices actually do turn into full quests. Yeah, Fists of Fury. We definitely saw that one coming. That's gonna be the fighting tournament. Master has gotta be the master armor smith / blacksmith person. Okay. Why is it still... Hold on. This one? Oh, did we not pick this up? Okay, gotcha. gonna say we still have the exclamation point at the notice board. So now, till death do we part. Okay, so the list of quests is growing extremely long. I mean, at this point, I feel like it's rivaling what we had during the base game at its busiest moments. When did we have the most side quests? Maybe, I feel like early on in Velen, maybe, when we were just running around through that humongous area, and may not necessarily have been focusing on finishing those quests, rather just picking up as many quests as possible, kind of like what we're doing right now. Yeah, Blood and Wine is packed. It certainly looks like it right now. It definitely looks like it. So, we were saying, though, that next on our list is probably to do Turn and Face the Strange. So let's throw our custom marker there. And there's another? Well, that's the Grandmaster Smith. Okay, so these are just an ordinary smith here. You see the Grandmaster is in this location. Okay, so we'll definitely check that out later on. But given how we have spent a fair bit of time talking to people, playing Gwent, picking up quests, let's go do one of them now. So let's head over there. And maybe we'll poke our heads in some buildings here and there along the way, see if we can loot anything. Although, I'm guessing, yeah, at least here, I feel like a lot of these are going to be locked. This one is not, though. Hello, random noblewoman whose house we just broke into.
Truly necessary?
No, that absolutely was not truly necessary. You are absolutely correct about that. Sound waves, bats and Shalimars. Oh, what? Got a sound effect, but I think that was maybe updating our bestiary for this. Do you know that sound is in fact not just a noise, but a wave, just like the waves of a sea striking against the shore. And just like them, sound waves strike everything in their path, which causes them to break. This particular property of sound is used by some species of animals and monsters as they carry out kind of terrain mapping using their sense of hearing. Bats, which produce a specific sound to conduct echolocation based on how this is. Curiously, Shalimars, mighty though completely blind monsters, have developed a similar mechanism. They are able to locate their opponents by sensing the vibration of even the faintest sound wave. Yeah, so I'm guessing that sound effect that we heard when we picked that up was based on us, well, learning more about them, and therefore adding that stuff to our bestiary. This is, oh no, Conjunction of Spheres is not new. But I thought something else here that we just picked up might have been. We picked this up at the previous one, but Master Fairman's thoughts on elven architecture, I believe, is new to us. Nowhere else in the entire world can one find better preserved relics of the glory days of the Anshe. Naturally, by the entire world, I in fact mean the areas that have entered man's jurisdiction. Toussaint's architecture obviously could not hold a candle to the wonders of Dobeltana. That is in no way meant to detract from the glory of the ruins of Hermes, the old amphitheater of Arthak, the one-time summer residence to Toussaint's kings. More than any of these, however, is the palace which captures one's eye with its front page. Spacious terraces seemingly enclosed by openwork exedras, with rows of intricate tracery and pinnacles crowned with spiked crockets. One might admire them through legions of ogival windows. Okay, I am not familiar with all this architecture terminology, but the traceries of which are often decorated with the floral ornaments so typical for the culture of the Anshe. This style is especially prominent in its buttresses and niches. Yeah, someone smarter than me could probably say what type of architecture we are seeing a lot of here in Beauclair, because it definitely looks a lot different from what we've seen in other locations. Oh? Gwent, a history? For many, a diverting game of cards. For others, a noble pursuit. For some, a crippling addiction which devours their every coin in every waking moment. Oh man, that hits close to home. These last can be found most frequently among the dwarves, the game's inventors, and most passionate devotees. Okay, so we were asking that question a little while back about the guy who created the Skellige faction in Gwent. You know, so that's confirmation. That is not the person who started Gwent as a whole. It's not like the official manufacturer of Gwent cards. Presumably this means that would technically, that honor would belong to the dwarves. And so if anyone were to create a new faction, officially, one would assume it would be the dwarves. So it's a little strange, but, you know, we'll give it to them. So, where were we? Their devotion extends to Gwent's paraphernalia, its cards most of all, which they craft with great care and skill. In fact, cards painted by dwarven masters are often considered miniature works of art. In past times, they devoted equal attention to whittling the clubs which contestants once kept at their sides to bash each other about the head with in case any arguments. As brawls grew less common, clubs became implied threats more than used weapons, until eventually falling into disuse and near oblivion. Today, Gwent players can be found almost everywhere, from the Skellige Isles, where the game was introduced by the druid Ermion. Did we hear that was... I know that Ermion said something like, well, of course I have Gwent cards. What are you talking about? Did he? He did say that he shared it with a lot of people. I do remember that as well. I don't remember if he explicitly said that he was the first. The Northern Realms and the Nilfgaardian Empire. In Gwent, the play of cards mimics the dueling of two armies. The playing field is divided into two parts, each split into 3 rows. Nearest to the center stands units who fight at close quarters. Behind them, archers and other such ranged attackers. And furthest back, machines and creatures used for siege purposes. Both players wield decks made up of a minimum of 22 unit cards and a maximum of 10 special cards, and each must also contain a leader card. The player who wins the toss of a coin, originally the dwarf whose wife has the longest beard, plays first. Usually that's actually considered a disadvantage, so I guess you don't want your wife to have a long beard. Imagine that. Each player draws at random 10 cards from his deck, and then is allowed to redraw 2 of these before playing the cards begins. Each round is won by the player who has played cards with the greatest value. First to achieve 2 victorious rounds wins, meaning a maximum of 3 rounds are played. The winner prize is agreed upon by the players before each match. Most often the wager is a bounty, or coin, or rare card. The heart of the player's armies, the unit cards, comes in 3 types: close combat, range, siege units. I mean, these are basically just Gwent rules, right? And we do know this. Let's see. Each card is assigned a strength rating, may additionally possess special abilities. There are also special cards which have no strength rating, but instead influence the course of the game in other ways. Unit cards depicting famed heroes not only have unusually high strength ratings, but also have the added benefit of ignoring the workings of all special cards. These are the rarest and most coveted of Gwent cards. Most frequently, they must be won from top players or purchased at a great price from collectors. Cards in Classic Gwent are divided into 4 factions: Northern Realms, leader Holtest; Nilfgaardian Empire, leader Emir Var Emrys; Monsters, leader Erden Briac Glas; and Scoia'tael, leader Francesca Findabair. I thought there might have been another new thing that we picked up as well. Hey, we learned about Toussaint in Toussaint. Imagine that. We've already read that many times before. It's actually decent crafting stuff there. Including green armor dye. Absolutely crucial.
Rather handsome.
Alright, slow it down. It's not why we're here. We're here to steal all of your worldly belongings. That's the important part. Wait, what was that? That was like Beauclair, dried fruit or something like that?
That's the butcher of Blaviken.
Oh, that it is. Okay, so I think that's everything in here. Unless we... Actually, hold on. Is there a door here we could go through? Not really? Okay. That's blocked. I take it back. Let's see if we can pop in anywhere else. Otherwise, we'll head on over. I don't know. It's no Vanderow, if you ask me. No Vanderow. Can we hop in here? Looks like we can. Is this the same building? Oh, that's locked. This one? He is unlocked. What was that? Broken something? I didn't even catch it. Lots of foods. Lots of foods. And is there an upstairs here? Doesn't look like it. There's another room though. Ooh. With potentially decent stuff as well. Ooh. Yeah? Yeah? We'll take those.